Let's get into it. Coach Colin news. We got some Patriots on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some Patriots on our hands today. You love to see it. And you know what's funny? We're going to talk about it after I show you some clips. But it's funny which flag they wanted. Oh, this is all about Israel and Palestine. Which flag did they want? Oh, I wonder. Let's get into it. Let me show you this little clip here. Then I'll show you what these amazing kids did.
A viral online fundraiser has raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for UNC fraternity members after they protected the American flag during that campus protest yesterday.
Yeah, it's raised nearly $300,000 in just a few short hours. CBS 17's Harrison Grubb talks with students who stepped in about how this whole thing played out.
These moments on UNC's campus are resonating with thousands across the country.
When we went in, we said, we will not let the headline of this day be an American flag falls at UNC.
Ongoing protests against the war in Gaza intensified on campus Tuesday. At one point, pro-Palestinian protesters replaced the American flag flying over the quad with a Palestinian one. After university administrators brought a new flag, they tried bringing that one down as well.
My friends and I kind of looked at each other and then said, we should go over there.
Jason Calderon joined several of his fellow students in propping up the flag to prevent it from touching the ground. All while he says he and others were pelted with objects from protesters.
So many Americans in history have fought for the ideals of justice and freedom that flag represents. And who are we if we don't take some water balloons and take some yelling and some chaos to, reap the benefits of what they've sown for American society?
Images of the students' actions flooded social media, leading to the creation of a GoFundMe to benefit fraternities whose members protected the flag. It raised more than $250,000 within 12 hours.
So many people are seeing that UNC is a beacon of light.
On campus, steps are being taken to make sure it doesn't happen again.
It was really just inspirational for us to see everybody coming together and the chancellor coming in and saying, as long as I'm chancellor, that flag will stay up.
I reached out to the fraternities named in the fundraiser, but have not heard back yet. In Chapel Hill, Harrison Grubb, CBS 17 News.
Incredible. All right, let's move on. Show you the actual thing in action while they were standing up for this flag. Oh, lot of Israeli flags going on. Why aren't they grabbing at those Israeli flags? I thought this was all about Israel and Palestine. Thought Israel was the problem. But what flag do they want the most? The flag that those gentlemen are holding up in the air. I'm so tired of people not seeing. Yeah, of course, there's a conflict with Israel and Gaza, and Israel is definitely on top when it comes to the casualties that are being, tragically taken in war. But on American soil, what's happening? They're going after American flags. That's what they're doing. They're yelling at Americans. They're mad they can't get to the American flag. How about that? Wow, I just keep seeing more and more of that. More and more of that. I knew what was up the second I saw somebody burn an American flag. And then I hear people screaming "Death to America." Listen. I'm about to make another episode about it because Jimmy Dore was talking a bunch of smack to me recently. He even put it on his YouTube channel. So I'm about to work on a response video. But to act like this hasn't been co-opted by people who hate America. Obviously, not every single person you see is a socialist or a communist. But to act like the leaders aren't pushing that ideology on these young people without them even realizing it. To act like that doesn't happen at all. Every single person there knows exactly why they're there. Every single person there has no issue with America and has every issue with Israel. They're literally berating these guys as we speak. They're throwing things at them. And there's only so many of them that are willing to stand up for the American flag, which I would say is sad, but it only takes a few. It only takes a few. These guys did something beautiful here today, man. They really, really, really did. They really did. They did it was on April 30th that this happened, but it's a beautiful display. Look at that. Look at that kid right there with the Israeli flag. Look. Why don't they walk up and rip that away? They're not even throwing water on the kid with the Israeli flag. How about that? Only throwing things at the American flag. Only throwing things at the guys who are protecting the American flag. Interesting the way that works. Very, very interesting. Man, this is BLM 2.0. Whoever can't see it, I'm sorry for you. Get your prescription on your glasses checked or something, but it's very obvious to me. I got a whole response video coming to Jimmy because he can't see it. And again, I keep on saying it's not everybody, obviously. It's not a crowd filled with communists. But to say that there's none? To say that there's none while what they want right now is to rip down that American flag? To say that there's none when in these protests people have been burning American flags, screaming death to America? To say that there's none? Get out of here. Absolutely amazing. But again, these kids, what that kid just said, everything he said, like, who are we if we can't take a few water bottles, knowing what people actually stood up and died for when it came to the American flag? Beautiful words, man. Beautiful sentiment. Absolutely disgusting behavior by these kids. Again, I don't want to see any casualties in Gaza, but at what part of this is it, well, we better attack some Americans to make sure that we preserve Gaza? We better get those Americans who are trying to preserve their flag. Huh? What? Nah, not falling for this. Same thing happened with BLM. Same thing happened with the LGBTQ. That's why you can go by most schools and see the flag sometimes above the American flag, sometimes above the Canadian flag. Oh, yeah. Listen, you can't see it, all good, because it only takes a few. So for the few of us that can see it, don't worry. Don't worry. We'll be the ones to talk about it. We'll be the ones to make it known in the world. But yeah, wild what these kids did. $300,000 to a frat. Now, that's the thing I don't know about. What's about to happen here? People keep saying throw them a rager. Are they going to have a party with all that? If they actually have a party with all that money, that's going to be pretty terrible. A university rager with $300,000 is equal to 5 pro-Palestine. 5 pro-Palestine rallies, okay? You got to be careful with that. There's going to be a lot more than flags burning if they spend that whole $3,000 on that. That's going to be absolutely wild. But who knows? The kids won't actually say what they're going to do. They haven't talked about partying much. Maybe they'll just start paying off little bits of their tuition. I don't know. I have no clue. I think it's actually kind of wild that they got that much money. Not that they don't deserve it, but it's just completely unexpected. If you asked me how much money do you think they raised, I'd be like, oh man, those guys probably got $25,000. They have more than $250,000. And that was a few days ago. That was 2 days ago when I just showed you that video. They've probably hit $300,000. What are they doing with that? We'll have to wait and see. If they do something actually really noble with the money, oh man, that's it. I'm going to find one of the kids and interview them 100%. If I find out they did something beautiful with that money, I'm going to be like, oh, let's go. Let's go. We got to do it. We got to do some interviews. I might even hit that I might even get to that campus and actually talk to them. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of this whole thing. When it comes to Israel and Palestine, should the discrepancies stay within Israel and Palestine? Or are you of the mind of, well, Israel can't exactly do this without America, which is not true. They could. Maybe not on the same scale, but they could, definitely. And also, they would be able to do it way more voraciously. They would be able to do exactly what they want to do if they weren't. People don't realize how held back they are by America. But obviously not completely. They've had 30,000 casualties. I think 14,000 of them were members of Hamas, but I have no idea who. I think it's the Palestinian. I think their board of health, Ministry of Health, is reporting those numbers. People are saying that they're not reporting members of Hamas as members of Hamas. They're just reporting them as Palestinians. So it's all up in the air. But from what I know, it's 14,000 Hamas members gone and 19,000, I believe, don't quote me on that, but 19,000 just straight up innocent people. Big population of children, probably a lot of children in that 19,000. So nobody wants that. But do you think it should stay between those things? Or do you think that these pro-Palestine people have the right to take attack on America, on Americans, on American soil? Let me know what you think in the comments section. Other than that, I'm out.